Good morning to all. So, in our last class, we discussed regarding the chapter which is the Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. So, today we had focus on this chapter, especially regarding the themes and also some important facts regarding this chapter. So, basically, regarding this chapter, the summary of this chapter is that, okay, son, listen up. My life hasn't been an easy climb up a set of crystal stairs. The stairs I had to climb were full of tacks and splinters. The steps were falling apart and there were spots no longer covered by carpet. But I have been climbing anyway the whole time. I have reached landings and I have turned corners. I kept climbing up even when it was dark and there were no lights to guide me. So, son, you can turn back. Don't sit down on the steps because it turns out to be pretty hard going. Don't fall down now because I am still going, honey. I am still climbing, and my life hasn't been an easy climb up a set of crystal stairs. So, here we had to focus on this chapter in which this is a kind of monologue. So, regarding this poem, The Mother to Son is a poem by Langston Hughes and it was first published in 1922 in The Crisis, which is a magazine dedicated to promoting the civil rights in the United States and was later collected in Hughes' first book, which is The Weary Blues, in 1926. And this poem describes the difficulties that black people face in a racist society, alluding to the many obstacles and dangers that racism throws in their way. Obstacles and dangers that white people don't have to face. But the poem also argues that the black people can overcome these difficulties through persistence, resilience, and also the mutual support. So these are some important details that we had to keep in mind regarding this poem. So now we had to focus on the major themes in this poem. So the first one is regarding the racism and perseverance. So Mother to Son is a dramatic monologue about surviving in the face of American racism. So this is one of the important topics that we had to keep in mind regarding this poem, in which this poem is a dramatic monologue about surviving in the face of American racism. So we have to focus on the American racism in this poem, and also the speaker gives her son advice about how to improve his lot in a racist society through an extended metaphor about climbing a set of stairs. So here the metaphor, use of this extended metaphor about climbing a set of stairs, it signifies a kind of advice about how to improve his lot in a racist society. So basically the speaker gives her son an advice about how to improve his lot in a racist society. Then after that, while white people can climb up a crystal stair, meaning they enjoy a smooth and easy ascent, the black people are forced to take the dangerous and dark staircase. So here we had to focus on the topic, the crystal stair. So here the crystal stair means the life of the white people, in which they enjoy a smooth and easy ascent, and whereas the black people are forced to take dangerous and dark staircase. In this way, the speaker argues that the racism makes it much more difficult for the black people to succeed in society, yet she also suggests that they can overcome many obstacles through the perseverance and also the mutual support. So here we had to focus on the perseverance. So here the perseverance means a kind of effort, especially the continuous effort, and also it means a determination of the mother. So here she also suggests that they can overcome many obstacles through the perseverance and also the mutual support. Then the speaker of Mother to Son distinguishes between two different kinds of staircases, and by extension between two different kinds of paths through life. So here the first one is regarding the crystal stair, second one is a kind of normal, a wooden stair, which is a kind of which is represented in this poem itself. So basically between two different kinds of paths through life. This is the meaning that we had to keep in mind regarding the two different kinds of staircases. And on the other hand, there is a staircase that she had to climb which is dangerous and falling apart with loose tacks and splinters. So this is the second staircase that we had to focus on. The first one is the crystal staircase and the second one is a normal staircase which is dangerous and falling apart with loose tacks and splinters. Sometimes the staircase has even been dark. So here the dark means a kind of obstacle that they are going to face. So basically, on the other hand, there is a crystal stair. So the crystals are smooth and shiny and beautiful, whereas this normal stair, they are dark, and also it signifies a kind of dangerous and falling apart with loose tacks and splinters, which signifies a kind of obstacle that they have to face in the American society. So this also signifies the kind of racism in the American society. Then the crystals are smooth, shiny and beautiful. They suggest the glamour and wealth. So basically the crystal staircase, it suggests the glamour and wealth, especially regarding the white people. Then in the other words, the crystal stair is basically the opposite of the staircase the speaker had to climb. And where her staircase is in despair, the crystal staircase is lovely and inviting. Where she has had to struggle to improve her life, the people who climb the crystal stair have no trouble getting where they were to go. And also, these two staircases aren't meant to be taken literally. Rather, they are the part of an extended metaphor for the unequal opportunities and also the challenges that the black face in their lives. So basically, these are the unequal opportunities as well as the challenges that the black people face in American society, where the white people have an easier and smoother course toward realizing their dreams. The poem argues the black people, like the speaker and her son, have to fight through difficult, dangerous challenges just to reach the same level. So, the speaker is realistic and straightforward about these difficulties. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. She doesn't suggest that racism will end. She never imagines in this conversation with her son at least a world without the obstacles and dangers that she has endured. And she is also persistent. Despite everything, she announces, I was been a climbing on. So this suggests that they kind of caliber in her mind. So basically, എത്രയൊക്കെ പ്രശ്നം വന്നാലും അതിനൊക്കെ ഓവർകം ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മനസ്സാണ് ഇവിടെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. So basically, I was been climbing on. And in these words, the speaker believes that she and her son can still lead successful lives despite the obstacles in their way. And she offers the poem to her son as encouragement. She wants to him follow her example to be as persistent and determined as she has been. So that's regarding the major themes in this poem. So basically we have the two important themes that we have to focus on. The first one is the racism, which is the American racism in this poem. The second one is the perseverance, which is the determination of this speaker, which is the mother in this poem. So basically they have to overcome all these kinds of obstacles in her life. So basically she compares her life to a staircase. So basically their life was not like the crystal staircase. Their life was a kind of normal staircase, which means a dangerous and a dark staircase. So that's regarding the major theme in this poem. Now we had to focus on regarding the speaker. So the speaker of this poem is a black woman and a mother, and she is talking directly to her son, giving him advice drawn from her own life about how to survive and thrive in a racist society. So basically the speaker in this poem is a black woman and a mother, and she is talking directly to her son, giving him advice drawn from her own life about how to survive and thrive in a racist society. She dwells on the obstacles and dangers that she was faced and comparing her life to a slow and a painful climb up and also a dangerous, poorly maintained set of stairs. Her implication is clear. As black people is a racist society, she and her son have to face challenges and obstacles that white people don't. So this is the important point that we have to keep in mind, in which her implication is clear, in which as black people is a racist society, she and her son have to face the challenges and obstacles that white people don't. Then also the obstacles and the dangers of racism and its unfair double standard. The speaker believes that her son can succeed if he follows her advice and pushes on regardless of the difficulties he faces. The speaker is thus a passionate critic of American racism and a strong advocate for black self-empowerment, championing the capacity of black people to succeed through the perseverance and mutual support. So the perseverance and mutual support. So this is the point that we already discussed regarding the theme of this poem. So basically the perseverance and mutual support of the speakers, which means that the determination and also the mutual support. Indeed, this poem is an example of such support, with the speaker offering her hard-won wisdom to her son to help him thrive. So basically ഇതൊരു അഡ്വൈസ് കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു അവസ്ഥ പോലെയാണെങ്കിലും ഇതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഉദ്ദേശം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ബേസിക്കലി ടു ഹെൽപ്പ് ഹിം ത്രൈവ്. അവൻ്റെ ഈ ലൈഫിൽ നിന്ന് അവൻ്റെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഈ റേസിസം അടങ്ങുന്ന ഈ ഒരു സൊസൈറ്റിയിൽ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഈ ഒരു മകനെ അവർക്ക് ഒരു വിജയം ലഭിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി മാത്രമാണ് ഒരു പോയത്തിൽ ഇത്തരം അഡ്വൈസസ് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. So basically this poem is an example of such support, which means a kind of mutual support and also the determination, with the speaker offering her hard-won wisdom to her son to help him thrive. So that's regarding the speaker's details. Now we have to focus on some important symbols in this poem. So the first one is regarding the crystal stair. So the crystal stair that the speaker mentions in lines 2 and 20 is a symbol for privilege, power, and above all the advantage that white people enjoy in a racist society. Throughout the poem, the speaker uses an extended metaphor to describe the challenges and obstacles she had to overcome as a black woman. And also, her life has been like the climbing a dark, dangerous, poorly maintained staircase. So here, this crystal stair is just opposite to the staircase she had to use. So basically, the symbol in this poem is that the crystal stair, which signifies the privilege and also the power, and above all, the advantages that the white people enjoy in a racist society. Now we had focused on the darkness, the second symbol in this poem. So the darkness in this poem is a symbol of hopelessness and also the despair. So basically, it appears in the line number 12, where the speaker describes how as she climbed up a dangerous, poorly maintained staircase. So basically, the darkness in this poem, it is a symbol for the hopelessness and also the despair. Now we had to focus on the light, the third one. So the light is a symbol for the hope in this poem. So in line 13, the speaker notes that she has often had no light. So in other words, she had no hope, and also as a symbol, then the light works with the symbol that appears in the line 12. Then both symbols emphasize that the speaker has experienced the despair and also the hopelessness as she has struggled to overcome the obstacles and dangers of living in a racist society. Then regarding the staircase that she describes is a part of an extended metaphor for the difficulties, dangers and obstacles she was encountered as a black woman living in a racist society. So basically this is very important regarding the staircase, in which it is a part of extended metaphor for the difficulties, dangers and obstacles especially the speaker encountered as a black woman living in a racist society. So that's regarding some important details regarding this poem, which is the Mother to Son by Laughson Hughes. Now we had to focus on the poem, which is this is a photograph of me by Margaret Atwood. So basically today we had to focus on the introduction part of this poem. So regarding the author's details first. So the Margaret Atwood is one of the most widely read authors of the contemporary world, novelist, short story writer, poet and critic. Atwood occupies a prominent place in the modern literary scene. She was born in 1939 in Ottawa, Canada, and published her first collection of poems, which is entitled as The Circle Game, in 1966, which won the Governor General's Award. So basically, the Margaret Atwood is one of the most widely read authors of the contemporary world, and also she is a novelist, short story writer, poet and critic. And also the other important thing is that she occupies a prominent place in the modern literary scene, and she was born in Canada and published her first collection of poems, which is entitled as The Circle Game, which is published in 1966, which won the Governor General's Award. Since then, she has published many volumes of poetry and short stories, but is best known as a novelist. So basically, the Margaret Atwood is best known as a novelist, and also she published many volumes of poetry and short stories, but she is best known as a novelist. Then her controversial novel, which is The Edible Woman in 1969, deals with the issues faced by the woman, and other critically acclaimed works of Atwood include The Survival, which is in 1972, The Handmaid's Tale, which is in 1985, Cat's Eye in 1989, The Robber Bride in 1994, then Alias Grace in 1996, The Blind Assassin in 2000, and The Oryx and Crack in 2003. So these are the major works by Margaret Atwood. Then The Blind Assassin won the Man Booker Prize in the year 2000, and in 2006 she published The Tent, which is a volume of tales and poems. So basically she won the Man Booker Prize in the year 2000 which for the work The Blind Assassin, and also in 2006 she published The Tent, which is the volume of tales and poems, and The Bashful Bob and Doleful Dorinda, and which is a children's book, and A Moral Disorder, which is a collection of short stories. Then her works are translated into more than 30 languages. So basically these are some important works by Margaret Atwood. So basically she won the Man Booker Prize in 2000 for the work The Blind Assassin. So this is a photograph of me is taken from the collection of The Circle Game. So this poem is taken from the collection which is The Circle Game, and this poem is a poignant depiction of how womanhood is misrepresented and underrated by the male-oriented society. So here the term poignant depiction means causing or having a very sharp feeling, which means that a kind of affection. So basically this poem is a poignant depiction of how womanhood is misrepresented and underrated by the male oriented society. So that's regarding the introduction for this poem, which is this is a photograph of me by Margaret Atwood. So today we discussed regarding some important details regarding the poem, which is The Mother to Son by Laughson Hughes, and also the introduction part of this poem, which is This is a Photograph of Me by Margaret Atwood. So that's for today. Thank you. Happy learning.